Hi drama queens! Today's episode question is, how easy would it be to take your opponents down? Moon's targets are all fighting to avoid retribution, but it may be too late as their past wrongdoings are catching up to them. I love how Moon doesn't invent anything new, but simply uses these evil people's own actions against them. Are you guys excited to see how this season ends? So get comfy everybody, and let's binge! Episode 7 of The Glory starts with JY seeing Moon's injuries and agreeing to join her hunt. As for her targets, they are all scrambling. John is spinning out from the news that he is Little Park's father. Choi receives some unsavory photos of herself and is freaked out. Sarah is pouring all her frustration and fear into making crazy paintings. We see that she's collected the money that Moon wants. There is an important scene here where a woman quickly walks away from Son's dying body. We learn that both Choi and Park own the heels that the woman was wearing. As for Park, CEO Ha looks through his wedding photos to find Son and asks Park about him. She asks him half-jokingly if Son sent something to threaten him. He replies that just because he brought up Son, she's asking if he's threatening him. Her and her friends sure are strange. Park realizes from what he said that CEO Ha has seen someone else in her friend circle. So she cleverly checks out his GPS and is alarmed to discover that he actually went to see John. JY actually has a complicated past as well, and we learn more about it. His father was murdered by a serial killer who's been sending JY numerous threatening letters from prison. At his home, JY imagines killing the man who killed his father with a knife to his stomach and to his neck. Moon receives the bag full of cash from Sarah. She reveals to Miss Khan's daughter that she plans on sending her abroad and she now has the money for it. The plan that she set in motion basically executes itself. First, CEO Ha accidentally discovers that his daughter is colorblind. Then John goes to see Little Park and notices that she can't tell the traffic lights apart. Confident that she got her color blindness from him, he tells her that he'll protect her from now on. Sarah and Choi go to Son's home and finds John's stolen watch and clothes there. They also find Son's ticket to Russia and his passport and concludes that he hasn't left the country. They meet Park and she suggests reporting it to the police, but Sarah is highly against it, considering that he's her drug supplier. Miss Khan gives Moon proof that the men tailing her were Park's men, because they met with the ex-cop who is Park's mother's friend. Moon is sure that they killed Son for Park and also thinks that he met Park before he died. Miss Khan is shocked that Park is capable of murder, and that's when Moon divulges a secret. The person who killed So-hee was, in fact, Park. So-hee held onto Park's name tag when she was killed, and that name tag somehow ended up in Moon's hands. What she needed from Son was to get a confession out of Park. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to give her that and instead got himself killed. With Son gone, Moon focuses on getting the other bottom feeder of the group. Choi recently quit because she caught a big fish and is planning on getting married to him. She couldn't have anticipated that her future mother-in-law is actually extremely close to Moon, having met her at church and all, and she pretty much hopes that her son would marry Moon instead. Choi begs Moon not to tell her mother-in-law about their past, at least until she gets married, saying that she will be on her side and do anything that she asks for. Moon tells her to report Son as a missing person at the police station. Park finds John and demands to know why he's told CEO Ha. John is also furious with her and lets her know that he knows Little Park is his daughter. He wants to know if she found out after she gave birth or she knew from the very beginning and still passed her off as CEO Ha's daughter. Before Park gets a chance to reply, John forcefully kisses her. And she returns his kiss, but you can tell that she's hiding something. John is totally getting out of control. He meets with a lawyer and asks how he can get custody of Little Park. The lawyer tells him his best case scenario would be the parents getting divorced because legally CEO Ha is her daughter. He even visits Little Park's school during parent-teacher conference and he meets CEO Ha there. He jokes about having a secret love child in the class and then says that he's actually here to meet an old friend, the homeroom teacher Moon. CEO Ha is shocked to see her as the crazy teacher that Park hates. He realizes it cannot be a coincidence that his go buddy is also an old classmate that Park and John has a weird relationship with. Next episode is the last of the season, so will the characters all come head to head and all will be revealed? Or are they going to leave some intrigue for the next season? Let's find out right now. Episode 8 starts with John and CEO Ha continuing their conversation from the previous episode. John tries to provoke CEO Ha as they're both alpha males, and now they're actually fighting over the same partner and offspring. After the parent-teacher conference, John meets Moon on the school premises. He still thinks he has the upper hand when it comes to her. He reminds her of the day when he and Song assaulted her, and goes so far as to grab her hand and blow at her wound. Moon slaps her decisively and tells him that she's the one who sent him all those things related to Little Park, and warns him not to help Park if he wants Little Park to himself. After staying strong through that interaction, Moon goes to throw up in the washroom. Kudos to her for holding it in front of John. Park later finds out from Little Park that CEO Ha visited the school and that John was there too. CEO Ha meets Choi and bribes her to reveal what happened between Park and Moon in school. Choi tells him that it all began because Moon refused to clean the toilets on behalf of Park. And so Park made Song beat Moon up, and then that turned into constant torture. Even though CEO Ha comes from privilege, he still can't help feeling sympathy, horror, and outrage after finding out the truth. Fate would have it that CEO Ha runs into JY playing Go at one of his regular spots. He doesn't know JY, obviously, but JY recognizes him as one of the primary targets on Moon's wall. He actively approaches CEO Ha and requests for a game together, even leaving his business card with CEO Ha. That night, CEO Ha confronts Park about what he's learned about Moon. Park tells her husband to keep away from the Pandora's box that is her school life, and reminds him that he loves her for her status and her beauty, and it should stay that way. JY's mother meets her husband's murder in prison and asks him why he's sending letters to her son. He tells her that he's doing it because he's bored. John harasses Park again, ordering her to get a divorce, take Little Park, and marry him instead. He tells her that he knows her fully and doesn't care about her dark past. This actually backfires because Park realizes that the reason she's so against CEO Ha finding out about her past is because she actually cares for him. Moon tells Miss Khan that she's sending her daughter abroad and that she will do the job of killing Miss Khan's husband when the daughter is abroad. CEO Ha calls Moon out and confronts her if she approached him on purpose and if she learned the game of Go as part of her revenge plans, which she actually very easily admits to. He then asks her for her side of the story because she claims to be a victim. Meanwhile, the gang gathers because Choi reported Song missing to the police, and so everyone who's close to him has been brought in for questioning. Sarah pulls Choi's hair and insults her because she's afraid that her drug scandals will come to light. JY is doing everything he can to help Moon out. He goes to the morgue and he finds So-hee's body missing. He doesn't look surprised at this discovery though. As for Park, she finds out where Moon lives from her police friends and realizes that it's actually directly in front of her own house. She finds a locksmith and illegally breaks into Moon's house. And she sees everything that Moon's been collecting on the gang on her walls. She lights up a cigarette, claiming that she's made a mistake harassing Moon. Instead, she should have just killed her. As it looks like she's about to light the house on fire, she hears footsteps coming from behind. It is CEO Ha who walks into the house. The first season ends in a standoff between the husband and the wife. Moon's character in the show suffers terribly. Even as she appears to have gotten strong and is overcoming the hurdles and plotting her revenge with the support of a close few, we get glimpses into the trauma that's not yet healed. We hope she finds her salvation instead of mutual destruction with her gang of bullies, right? In stark contrast to the darkness of the adult world, Little Park seems to be a kind and bright child. We hope she's not dragged into the darkness as collateral damage. We will find out answers to all our lingering questions in the next season of The Glory, which is scheduled for March 2023. Remember to subscribe and tune in for the next season and many other amazing dramas like this. Thank you for watching!